Hello viewers. Our topic for this video is recursion. Before moving forward, I want to make a confession. While learning programming, one of the topics that has confused me the most is recursion. Why? Because someone said that, in order to understand recursion, one must understand recursion. I don't know who said this. But it is exactly the way I used to see recursion while I was learning programming, and I was never confident about this approach of solving problem. But with time I realized that recursion is not that confusing at all. In this video, I am going to share some steps using which you can solve any recursive problem. Let's look at the 4 steps that can solve any recursive problem. The first one is to define a function. And this is obvious. The second one is to call the subproblem and have faith it returns the correct solution. The third one is to use subproblems to solve your current problem. The fourth and last one is to define the base case. Now, let's look at some of the examples. In the first example, we need to write a recursive function to find maximum in an array. In step 1, we will define the function. The function takes an input array and index of the last element. For example, the given array, A, has size 10. So the value of last index is 9. That is why we will send I equals 9 as input parameter. Now in the second step, we call the subproblem, and have faith that it returns the correct solution. A subproblem is the same problem, that works on a smaller set of input. Suppose, if we know the maximum of array, till I-1 index. Then we just need to compare that maximum, with element at index I, to get the maximum, till I-8th index. For example, in this array, to calculate the maximum till the last index, we need to know the maximum till last -1 index. And then compare it with the value of the last index. So, in the subproblem, we will call till I-1 index. In the third step, we need to use the subproblem to solve our current problem. So in this step, we are comparing the subproblem with the element at the I-8th index, and returning the result. In the last step, we need to define the base case. The base case is used to prevent more function calls. It is an if statement in the beginning of the program that return an obvious solution. The base case of our problem is when I equals 0. If I is 0, means length of array is 1. So, the maximum element in the given array is the element at 0-8th index only. That is why we are returning the element at 0-8th index. You can find the complete code in the link given in the description box. Our next question is to write a recursive function to calculate factorial of any integer n. In the first step, we define the factorial function that takes input parameter n. To define the subproblem for the problem, we know that calling the same function with input n-1. If we know the factorial of n-1, then to find the factorial of n, we need to multiply n with factorial of n-1. For example, if n equals 4. And, if we know factorial of 3, then we can calculate the factorial of 4 by multiplying 4, and factorial of 3. So, in the third step we are multiplying the subproblem with n. In the fourth step, if we need to define the base case, we know that the factorial of 0 and 1 both are 1. So, we are comparing if n is equal to 0 or 1, and returning the result. I hope you should be able to solve recursive problems now. Can you write a recursive function to calculate nth term of Fibonacci series? A Fibonacci series is a special number of series which follow a pattern in which the next number of series is the sum of the previous two numbers. The first two numbers in the series are 1. Then the next number is 1 plus 1 equals 2, then the next element is 1 plus 2 equals 3. The sum of 2 and 3 is 5. The sum of 3 and 5 is 8. The sum of 5 and 8 is 13. The sum of 8 and 13 is 21. The sum of 13 and 21 is 34, and so on. I request you to write the program yourself. You can take the reference of the code in the link given in the description box. Please comment to give me feedback, and like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And press the bell icon to remain updated.